Yo, what's up, y'all? Chattel Red, the grown-ass teenager in the building. And today, I'm not talking about Rikers Island, but still talking about jail, actually prison, because the New York State Corrections are striking. Let's watch the video first, and then we're going to get into it.
Staffing shortages, forced overtime, and rising violence inside New York's prisons. Now, correction officers across the state are walking off the job in protest. The unauthorized strikes have caused lockdowns at multiple facilities, with officers saying conditions are unsafe. CBS 6's Brianna Sapardi reports from outside Coxsackie Correctional, where officers are out on strike.
More than 100 corrections officers braved the cold and stood outside of Coxsackie Correctional Facility on strike. Just one of more than 24 strikes happening today outside of state prisons in the state. And while I tried getting an on-camera interview with some of these folks here, they refused in fear of getting reprimanded. But they did want to show me what they face inside prison walls. This surveillance footage showing the moments leading up to a 2022 prison riot at Great Meadow Correctional Facility. In the footage, an inmate attacks an officer before chaos ensues. The riot sent 5 officers to the hospital. This footage here showing a glimpse of the struggles corrections officers say they face daily. This scene from Greenhaven Correctional Facility, an inmate stabbing another, officers struggling to gain control of the situation. Officers say staff shortages are at crisis level, forcing them into grueling mandatory overtime shifts while violence among inmates is escalating. They all tell me they're afraid to speak on camera, fearing retaliation. But retired officers with family members still on the job tell me it's worse than ever.
Correction officers can't really speak, or they'd get in trouble from Albany. You know, it's sad that they can't tell their own stories. You know, I mean, we work behind the walls, but it's been a little while, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And last week was the breaking point. The shifts normally is an 8-hour shift. Now they're into the sense where they're getting stuck. They're working their 16 hours, and then the jail's saying, well, we're short, so now you got to work another 8 hours. So now you're working 24 hours. How can you do that?
Officers are calling for better working conditions, like the end of 24-hour shifts or the HALT Act, which limits solitary confinement in New York State. The Department of Corrections responding, saying legislation can't be changed overnight and that they're doing everything they can to recruit and retain staff. Meanwhile, the strikes continue to strain prison operations, Governor Hochul threatening to take action.
I am directing everyone involved in these unlawful strikes to stop these actions immediately. Legal action has already commenced to ensure compliance. Do what's right. Do your jobs.
With many officers on strike and refusing to report to work, the governor said 3,500 New York National Guard troops have reported to duty to help staff these correctional facilities now facing staffing shortages. The governor also brought in an independent mediator to help end these strikes, which she considers illegal. But these officers behind me tell me that they're going to be here every day on strike until their demands are met. Reporting in Coxsackie, Brianna Sapardi, CBS 6 News.
Okay, so first let's get into why they keep saying unauthorized and illegal. Because I know for the city workers are not supposed to strike. Apparently, this state is the same way because they keep saying unauthorized and illegal. They're talking about working conditions are not safe. All the New York City jails, it's been unsafe. New York City Correction has been understaffed. They've been overworked. They've been doing triple shifts. They've been getting assaulted by inmates. They've been cut out the solitary confinement. They cut out the punitive segregation. Now that it's happening to the state, it's a big thing. Maybe now they'll bring attention to New York City Correction because, you know, the state, they have the complexion for the protection. You know what I'm saying? In the city, we don't really have the complexion for the protection because it's mostly us. The state is a different story. So maybe now that they're striking and they're saying that they have unsafe conditions and working excessive hours, maybe a change may happen at this point. Then the governor talking about she's doing all type of legal activities, trying to bring charges up against the officers that are striking. And they're saying, oh, we're doing everything in our power to regain and keep correction officers. But you're not doing everything in your power at all. Because if you protected your officers, maybe they may want to come to work. Maybe people may want to take that job if they feel like they're going to be protected. If they feel like the higher ups and the state or the city, whoever's in charge, has their back and has their best interests, like bringing charges on these inmates when they assault officers. They have 3,500 National Guard officers to guard the prisons. I wonder how that's going. I wonder if they like, yo, we didn't sign up to work in jail. I'm also wondering if this is one step closer to them bringing forth like the martial law and all that. And also, just like the city, the state corrections can't talk to the press because they're in fear of retaliation. Why do the officers have to be in fear of retaliation for telling their story, for telling their truth? If this is what's happening, why can't they speak on it? They're not making stuff up. They're not lying to make the department look bad. They're telling their truth. This is what they're going through on a daily basis. And you see the guy was saying that the correction officers can't speak because they'll be in trouble. That's why there's people like me who is retired and willing and ready to spill all the beans. To spill all the beans and bring awareness to what's going on behind these walls, because they can't talk for themselves, you know. And being that I was a correction officer for 20 years, I'm retired, and I wish that I could say certain things back then, and now I am free to say it, and I will. So anybody, any New York State, New York City, federal correction officers out there that wants to get something out into the public, hit me up and I got y'all, because I've been there. I know what it's like, and I know that it's crazy. Like it's too much to get into in one video, and that's why I'm here, and I'm going to make multiple videos about the shit that's going on in there. This is not going to be only I'm showing documentaries about jail and all that. No, we're going to talk about real shit, for real. That's it for right now on this subject, and I'll see y'all later.